all these things and effectively see why a political unit that's small has an advantage, okay, aside from robustness, has even a financial advantage that's not taken into it, just simply from the way they handle uncertainty. So, and here I have convexity effect in French and English. So in English is don't cross a river that's on average 4 feet deep. Always bear in mind second order effects. In French is a convex function of an average, not the average of a convex function, all right? And the Jensen's inequality or variations around it that I work with, all right? So this is pretty much the response of the coffee cup. It is concave until it breaks, and then, you know, you can't break a coffee cup that's broken, all right? So it don't care, as they say. So you have everything, it has nonlinearities that are local. Up to a point, you benefit from uncertainty in a convex part, and a concave one, you don't. This, another biblical thing, the Tower of Babel, all right? Which now is Baghdad, the suburbs of Baghdad, where they have ISIS, incidentally. All right, so they had the idea that when you build something very big, it's more fragile than a lot of small houses, okay? So we continue. Why fragility is necessarily second order effect, to build some intuition. And I'm pulling this from the book because it seems to me that's what interests people the most, is that you worry more of a second order effect than a first order effect when you're very fragile. Okay, by definition, what's concave? And here we have an example. If you have a grandmother and you know she spent 48 hours at 70 degrees temperature, you're very happy for her, no? But if someone tells you 70 degrees on average, but one day was 0 degrees and the next day was 140 degrees, you're not going to be very happy for your grandmother, okay? So you realize that the second order effect dominates the first order effect when you're fragile. And that's one thing that's not very present in discourse, okay? Is that when you start fragility, and there's a second order effect, and you can see immediately where it dominates the first order effect, okay? So this is the S-curve in nature, okay? Where you start at some level, you go up, and notice that everything in nature that has an S-curve, dose response, has a phase in which it's convex, and a phase where it's concave. And you can have it, you know, convex, concave, and then convex again, like the one at the bottom. For example, going to a lecture at NYU is pleasant. Okay, it's great. You can invite a friend. It's a great thing. But 2 lectures, all right, and 20 lectures, it's a negative. You see, so you have this is dose response. Okay, but what is interesting is that the convex part of the dose response means you want to have volatility right there. People don't quite get, for example, that you should vary within the place. You should have some randomness. Doctors aren't getting it because they can't. I'm just discovering from my fight over GMOs that they're not too much into equations, all right? But then you can show it that anything in medicine that has nonlinear response, all right, should respond to uncertainty. And we have evidence from, for antifragile, I found 200 papers showing evidence, but they're not glued together. For example, lung ventilators, instead of giving, right there, instead of giving someone 100% of the dose, you vary 80%, 120%, you have a convex response, okay? You do better, and effectively people survive better. It's the same thing with your heart. The way you can predict someone's going to die is if their heartbeat is too regular. So and same thing with the gym. Same thing with feeding. All right. If you don't starve people, religions know that, of protein, they get cancer. So it's a second order effect that matters more than first order effect. When people study the cretin diet in medicine, for example, they look at what people eat. No, morons. You look at how frequently they eat. Right? They only had meats on celebration days. And that was not just the Greek Orthodox Church. That was from, you read any book on ancient Greece, see how they ate. They ate meat on festivals, okay? But then they ate a lot of it. So there is definitely a convexity effect in that. And then days when you don't eat meat, you cannibalize some of your bad thing, and you lower your cancer rate. It's in the literature, but they don't get the universality of the point of everything that's convex likes variability. So